So I already have a tutorial on this boho twist style, but in that specific tutorial, I was using Marley hair and synthetic hair for the curly pieces. But in this tutorial, I'm going to use braiding hair and I am using human hair for the boho curly pieces. So the curly hair that I'm going to be using is from YGWigs. They sent me this hair and sponsored this video, so shout out to them. They sent me 3 bundles of their double drawn 22-inch water wave. And double drawn just means that it's thick from the tip to the ends of the hair. And for the twist, I'm using this Spectra pre-stretched braiding hair that I got from my local beauty supply. It was $20 for this huge pack of hair, and I only used half of this to do a full head. So before I started the style, I had all the hair separated on these racks, and I separated the braiding hair as well because I did the feed-in style and I needed all of the pieces to be the same size. So for each twist, I fed in 3 pieces of braiding hair, and I started the twist with a braid so that it would have a good foundation. And I did the feed-in method because I wanted the twist to start with a smaller base and gradually get bigger. For the boho pieces, they weren't as long as I expected them to be, but I ended up feeding in 2 pieces of the curly hair per twist, and I did not put curly hair at the bottom, and I will touch on why I decided not to do that a little bit later in the video. So for my setup, y'all, very ghetto, okay? But it was so hard trying to get set up so I could see the back of my head but also record at the same time. But I used this 3-way mirror that I got off Amazon. I will link it down below if you're interested. And then I had a mirror set up behind me so that I could pretty much see all around. No matter what angle of my head I needed to see, I had a mirror available to view. And this really helped me with the parting. If you watched my other video, then you know I used a different method for seeing the back of my head for parting for those twists. I used the screen mirroring technique with my phone and with my desktop. And that's a good method as well. It is just a little bit more tedious to set up for, is a little bit more tedious. So when you're parting on yourself, it's never going to be perfect, but I want to show y'all what I did that made it a little bit easier. So first I parted from ear to ear, sectioned off that back section, which is what I was just working on. Then I went over the top from ear to ear, as you can see. Then what I did was I parted out the very front into the side sections that I wanted to, and then I would connect the sections from side to side going all the way across the head. And this made it much more easy to keep the lines even and keep everything straight and keep your sections even as well. And for most of us, you're gonna have to have some type of method with your parting if you are parting on yourself, because otherwise, like, you're gonna be fighting for your life, okay? It's just not easy to part your hair yourself and to get them, you know, as even and as crisp as we usually all want it to be. So really quickly, I'm gonna go into the steps and kind of break them down piece by piece for those of you that are a little bit more on the beginner side in terms of doing this style on yourself. Then I'm going to go into the pros and cons of using braiding hair. I'm going to show you how I sealed and curled the ends, and then we're going to wrap this video up. So first you want to start off with your section, and I like to use braiding gel to kind of slick everything down. Then you want to start like a box braid, and then you're going to feed in the pieces if you are doing the feed-in method. And I only do feed-in pieces on the braiding portion of the twist. Then after I get the foundational braid done, I separate the hair into 2 even strands as evenly as possible, and I start to twist the hair down. After I've twisted a little bit, then I go ahead and feed in that first curly piece, and then I keep on twisting down. And I'm gonna break down that feed-in part for the curly piece. So method is extremely important when you're using braiding hair. You want to roll each piece between your fingers while you are twisting, or it most likely will unravel or they will get bigger once you finish the twist. Then you want to fold your curly hair piece about 1/4 of the way down and separate it and proceed to twist just like you're normally twisting for just a little bit. You're going to pull that longer strand back out, clip it out of your way, and continue to twist all the way down. And then for braiding hair, I just twist and twist and twist till there is nothing left to twist anymore. Now, if your hair is not pre-stretched, then this is really not going to work for you. You're going to have to stretch that hair out, or with braiding hair, your twist will unravel. So you want to make sure those ends get really tapered and thin so that you can twist all the way down and that the twist will hold and that it won't unravel. So this is how everything was looking once I finished all the twist. And this is before I curl the ends, so I'll talk about that in just a second. Real quick, I want to mention the pros and the cons of using braiding hair. So one of the cons is that you have to separate all the hair into the size strands that you want. So you have a bigger chance of all your twists not being the exact same size when using braiding hair. With Marley hair, they usually come in strands, and so your twists are most likely going to be the same size when you're using Marley hair. A pro is that braiding hair is less rough on your fingers. If you've used Marley hair, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Another pro is that braiding hair is cheaper than Marley hair. So I got that big pack of hair for $20, and I will be able to do a whole nother full head of these twists on myself using that exact same pack of hair because I only used half. So in terms of sealing my ends with the braiding hair, I used flexi rods. I rodded the ends and then I dipped them in boiling water. Let them sit for a while, let them set, took it out. So then the ends were curly as well. And then I put mousse all over my head to kind of make those human hair pieces pop and to make the twist pop. And then this is the finished look. I was blown away by the human hair as well because I didn't even use a full pack of that water wave hair to get this look. I still had a little bit left over. So you really only need one pack to get a full head of curliness unless you're going for like an extra full curly look. This is easily becoming one of my favorite protective styles. It takes half the time of braids and it still looks so good. So thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and then I will probably do this look again with either like a knotless base or like the wrapped base. So let me know which style of twist y'all are interested in seeing next, and until next time.